יום השם יש לה יקק וברך בלילה אדוני ישמח מכל רועי ישמח זבשך אדוני ישמח יצחק ויחו מעטו ויעד oilom. Friends, let's all give it some tzedakah for the well-being, safety, security, health of every Jew, and obviously the imminent coming of Mashiach. Today, at least here in Montreal, is visiting day in Camp Gan Israel. Summer camp with hundreds of kids over there, and seen actually in town many parents preparing to visit their children in camp. So I thought it might be a good moment just to reflect, to know a little bit more about Camp Gan Israel. Just fascinating fact. If I'm not mistaken, before the pandemic I read a number of over 1 million Yiddish Kinderlach who were enrolled in the Camp Gan Israel, all the camps that are affiliated with the Chabad movement, which most of them are called Camp Gan Israel. Over, staggering number if you think about it, over 1 million Kinder in Hara. An impressive number. What's the origin? So in 1956, two young men had this idea of opening a camp, a Chassidish camp. There was two young people, two Bachim, actually were still students in Yeshiva in 770, one by the name of Rabbi Moshe Lazar, the other one of Rabbi Yosef Weinbaum. Rabbi Moshe Lazar, who is still a shliach in Italy, to sein gesund und stark, father of Rabbi Lazar from Russia, may God help him and all the shluchim and all the Jews in Russia and Ukraine. They suggested to the Rebbe this idea of opening an overnight camp. The Rebbe accepted the idea, and in fact the Rebbe gave them the first $3,000. 1956, $3,000 was a lot of money. And the Rebbe gave him $3,000 towards starting off the camp. In fact, the Rebbe told him, it's not a time yet, the first time to go buy a camp, rent, and then eventually, which eventually they did. If I'm not mistaken, the second overnight camp was actually, Gan Israel was here in Montreal. Started with Rabbi Machkin, and Malay Shver, Oliver Shalom, Rabbi Sputz, and a few others. The Rebbe gave the name Gan Israel, and he said the following: Yisrael is the name of the Baal Shem Tov. So it should have the name of the Baal Shem Tov, the founder of Chassidus, the one who revived all of Judaism, the one who revived the Jewish community after all the calamities of that time in Eastern Europe. Gan, which means garden, obviously connected to a camp, a garden, but the Rebbe said Gan, the number 53, reflects, is related to what it says in the Zohar, that there is 53 Sidrei Havana B'Torah, orders of how to study Torah. In other words, it's not just a sports camp to have a good time. It's a place where indeed the children are involved completely in an environment of Torah, a healthy environment. As it says, as they say in Latin, mana sana in corpore sana, indeed. A healthy soul in a healthy body. And this is the particularity. And we know there are so many stories where children have changed the lives of themselves and their families after this experience of being in camp. Today, everywhere in the world, there are day camps called Gan Israel, overnight camps Gan Israel, affiliated, similar names, but the same spirit, the same idea, which is giving the children opportunity to connect more even to their roots, to Yiddishkeit, to Yisrael, to the Baal Shem Tov, to the Neshama, to their soul. The Rebbe, as we know, never left Brooklyn. From the moment he came to New York in 1941 with the Rebbetzin, the only time he went back to France was to welcome his mother, to bring the mother back, Rebbetzin Chana, to New York. But on 3 occasions, he did visit Camp Gan Israel. In fact, he said once, in 1960, in honor of the 200th year, his Talkus, passing of the Baal Shem Tov, he said he's going to visit the camp. And he said, although custom is never to leave Brooklyn, but camp is really an extension of 770, so I'm not leaving. Interesting little event that happened. When they heard that the Rebbe is coming, obviously they wanted to clean the camp and make the camp ship shape that it should be at its best. A Bacher realized that in one of the doors there's a huge hole, but he didn't have time to fix it. So he had this idea, it says in Shulchan Aruch, that every home should have an amma al amma, approximately 2 feet by 2 feet, area where it's unfinished, to commemorate Zeichel HaChurban, to commemorate the destruction of the temple. So he took a marker and he wrote over that opening that in the door, Zeichel HaChurban, commemorating the Churban. When the Rebbe saw that, apparently with a smile, the Rebbe said, Zeichel HaChurban? We need to commemorate the destruction we see. We need to make a zeicher, a commemoration to Geula. This is what we have to emphasize. So Rabbeinu Shalom, yes, indeed, with his million and over a million kids in camps, we should already merit not just Camp Gan Israel, but Camp Gan Israel in Eretz Israel with Moshiach himself.